All right, let's go into this Thursday night football slate. We got the Lions at the Packers. The Packers are 1.5 point underdogs at home. The total is 46.5. Who do you like in the captain spot here?
I'm going with the quarterback here. I'm going with Jordan Love. I had dubbed him as this potentially this year's Geno Smith, and that appears to be the case. He's quarterback four after 3 games, and he's looked impressive doing it. And he's done it without his top wide receiver, Christian Watson, who could make his debut here. I don't know if he's going to suit up yet. I think it's still up in the air. He's trending towards playing, I guess, but I mean, Love's going to be even better if he has Watson at his disposal. Plus, I think he has more rushing upside than people realize. We saw that last week. He had 39 yards and a touchdown with his legs last week. Like, he's making really impressive throws on the move, making really good decisions, but he still has room for improvement, which is really good for his long-term prospects. So I love using him in the captain slot because he has so many stacking partners too. You can, add in Watson if he's playing, or Romeo Dobbs is playing well, Jaden Reed, Musgrave. So he has a ton of stacking options, likes to spread it around. So this is definitely a slate where I think it's worth using a quarterback like Love in the captain slot.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, the spreading around is key because it's tough to predict on a week to week basis where he's
Yeah.
going with the football. All right, I am going with Jahmyr Gibbs. Looks like I don't think David Montgomery's going to play on the short week. He's still not ruled out or anything like that, but when he initially got hurt, it sounded like it was going to be a multi-week injury. So we finally saw Gibbs see his usage rise, and he had 17 carries, a couple of targets, 60% snaps. So I think he could be in that same range this week against the Green Bay Packers. So Amon-Ra St. Brown is obviously another option, but he's the most expensive player on the slate. So with Gibbs, you're getting about a 2K discount on Amon-Ra, and I think Gibbs has a chance to be the top scoring player on the Lions as well. So going with Gibbs.
Yeah, I think I would expect Montgomery to miss. I know whenever they ask him what his status is, he says week to week. When they ask Dan Campbell, he says day to day. So I'll trust the player on that one.
Yeah, if a player's saying week to week.
Yeah, right. Usually it's the opposite.
What about for values?
So for on the Packers side, got to go with Luke Musgrave. You mentioned you were high on him. I'm right there with you. He's been one of the better rookie tight ends this year. Just thanks to multiple things. The Packers having zero competition at tight end, so he's averaging over an 80% routes run rate. He's one of the people that has benefited from Jordan Love being so impressive early in the season. So he's also a must play due to the matchup. The Lions have allowed 6 different tight ends to clear 30 yards through 3 weeks. And Musgrave is the only tight end that the Packers have. So he has a really high ceiling in this matchup. Love him here. And on the Lions side, he's a guy who was high on last week, but he goose egged. It's Josh Reynolds. He had 0 targets, 0 catches, but he ran a 75% routes run rate. The target tree was so concentrated. I think only like 4 players caught a pass for the Lions last week, which is going to happen. I mean, that's just how this offense is. Any wide receiver behind Amon-Ra is going to be pretty fickle. So it could go the other way this week. We could see Reynolds bounce back with a big game. I think his rostership will be very low or too low after his goose egg last week. So I think it's worth reinvesting in Reynolds here and hoping for a big game.
Yeah, that was surprising. He didn't do anything, but yeah, his underlying metrics still been good. And Marvin Jones actually saw a decrease in playing time. So
yeah, well, your boy Khalif was the guy that stepped up as the wide receiver too.
Yeah, man. I mean, I always could see this coming because Khalif has more juice than old ass Marvin Jones, I guess. All right, for me, I'm gonna go with on the Lions side, obviously Sam Laporta here. We've talked about him on the other pod, but he's a top 6 tight end right now, and this Packer team has given up some catches to tight ends. Laporta's got at least 5 catches in every game. So I think he's a guy you got to continue riding in this spot. He's kind of stepped up as that number 2 target behind Amon-Ra. So, love Laporta. And on the Green Bay side, Jaden Reed is still kind of in that mid-range. I like him. He ran a season-high 72% routes last week. And I think You're not going to really see his role change too much with even if Watson does return because Reed is the slot receiver. He had a career high 63 yards last game. He's good for a rushing attempt probably here and there as well. So like him in that mid range, I think he's been playing really well for the Packers here. So like him is another guy that could do some things over the middle along with Musgraves. Lions without C.J. Gardner-Johnson now. So like Reed. What about dart throws?
I'm going with old man Marvin Jones here as my dart throw. Even after he was leapfrogged by Khalif Raymond, he's probably washed, if I'm being honest. Don't think we can bank on, 3 or more catches from him anytime soon the rest of the season. But I think they could limit him to maybe red zone work. He does make sense as being sort of red zone package over a Khalif Raymond. So if you're taking Marvin Jones here, you're just banking on like an 8-yard touchdown catch or something like that. Crazier things have happened, but yeah, like he's definitely at the bottom of the depth chart now. On the Packers side, I'm much more excited about my dart throw. Dontavian Wicks is not someone we probably thought would be a factor this year, but he's operating as a clear number 3 wide receiver. He's averaging a 64% routes run rate, seeing a pretty good target rate, around 17.5%. I think even if Christian Watson returns, he's probably worth a flyer. He'll probably still see, 40% routes run rate. And he's been making plays. So he's probably a player most people don't really know yet. Maybe they will after this game. So I think his rostership will be a bit lower than it should be. But I love Wicks as a dart throw here.
Yeah, he's stepped it up as that number 3 wideout. So
yeah.
If Watson doesn't play, I think that's a lovely play there. And even if Watson does play, I mean, I doubt Watson gets a full complement of snaps.
Right.
So
yeah.
Wicks probably still be that number 4 receiver. I'm going with on the Lions side. I'll go with Antoine Green. He actually
nice.
rookie saw a career high in terms of his route participation rate last week. He was up to 15%, and he's kind of been gradually increasing. 11% the week before. Now he's 15%. Marvin Jones has been seeing a little bit of a decrease, so maybe Green will continue to eat in. Who knows? But he's definitely kind of an unknown on this slate, and perfect kind of guy who I think could make a big play for the Lions if the target share isn't so concentrated again. And on the Packers side, it is tough. I was gonna go with Taylor, but I don't know exactly what's going on with Jones.
Yeah.
I'll just say Taylor.
Yeah,
like if Jones
AJ
is out,
sucks. He
yeah,
might get leapfrog.
yeah, Taylor has been playing a little more in pass
Yeah.
down. So Taylor is a guy who maybe he sneaks in there. Also, not sure. It is a short week, so Jones may sit one more time. So yeah, go with Patrick Taylor here. He did step up and catch 3 passes in the game against the Saints. Yeah, so let's go Patrick Taylor.
I love the Antoine Green call just because I said he's the guy actually replacing Jameson Williams. 7 games where 6 of the games have 0 catches and one of them's an 80-yard touchdown. Like that's his perfect role. He's the downfield threat. An amazing play for a 1-game slate. Hopefully it happens here.
Oh yeah. We've been hitting. I had Zacchaeus on.
That was a great call.
Zacchaeus on the night shift, and so we're on a pretty good run here.